Have you ever wondered why, despite not having accomplished much today, you feel so exhausted? A deeper reality is frequently revealed by asking that question. Our exhaustion doesn't arise from tasks alone, but from the weight of carrying emotional, mental, and spiritual obligations we were never designed to shoulder. The silent strain to make everything right, to avoid failure, to handle chaos on our own, may be the source of our exhaustion. This pressure causes our chest to constrict and distorts our thoughts. The act of letting go differs from letting go. It's neither indifference nor apathy. Letting go is a brave and sacred deed. It involves giving the things that are beyond our control to a God who is always in charge. In the thick of a storm, it is whispering, "I entrust everything I cannot manage to you, God." And it's discovering that letting go results in steadier steps, quieter thinking, and deeper breathing. Recognizing God's sovereignty is one thing, but truly resting in it is quite another. Theoretically, trusting God is simple when life is at ease. However, it takes practice to let go, particularly when we're standing in doubt, walking through pain, or waiting for an answer. But this is where true faith starts. Not by being indifferent, but by clinging to God, despite the loudness of our fears. Even though we claim to have given up, our behavior betrays us. We think about the future, overthink things, and try to predict it. However, God extends an invitation to something better. The gift of His calm, the ease of faith, and the freedom of surrender that do not from making everything right, but from following Him faithfully through it all. What does letting go actually look like then? It isn't abstract, it's quite useful. Let's examine 4 steps that have biblical foundations. Each one is a call to deeper closeness with the Father who sustains us, more freedom and more peace. First, identify what you are not allowed to carry. It's simple to mistake affection for power. We start to think it's our responsibility to keep everything together since we care so much. However, there is a holy line between control and stewardship. The former is loyal, the latter is motivated by dread. We are urged to give our burdens to the Lord in Psalm 55:22. This suggestion is not passive. It's vital. Casting entails letting go and giving up something that was never ours in the first place. Name the burdens you have been carrying first. Relationships, money, ambitions for the future, regrets and obligations that exceed your capabilities. Be truthful with God and yourself. You might find writing them useful, down to observe firsthand what you're attempting to do on your own. Then express it. This belongs to you, God. The first step in surrender is identification. What you haven't named, you can release. Naming is not a sign of weakness. Spiritual clarity is what it is. You say, "I know this is too heavy for me," but not for you. Confession brings relief, and your spirit breathes forth in that realization. The release has strength. Furthermore, there is grace in understanding that God's hands are kinder and more powerful than your own. We create room for what is when we set aside what is not ours. Calm, presence, and intention. We start to transition from burdened to grounded. We enter a life rhythm when tension is replaced by trust and fear by faith. It is not denial to let go. It's faith from God. This is assertively stating, "This isn't mine to fix, but it is yours to redeem." Second, give up without a time limit. Immediacy is ingrained in our hearts. Right now we want progress, clarity, and resolution. However, God frequently works in seasons and gradual growth and no quick fixes. For this reason, time must be a part of surrender. According to Isaiah 40:31, people who wait on the Lord will become stronger than those who hurry, freak out, or make demands. Giving up without a deadline means deciding to have faith even when time is running out. It entails putting your needs before of God's and leaving without looking at the time. "I'll trust you," It's the internal change from how long to however long it takes. God calls us to that depth. That's the beginning of peace. Seeds don't emerge as soon as they are planted. Unseen movement and growth are present. The same is true of our prayers. Silence may actually be sacred preparation. God never arrives late. We didn't anticipate the depth of what He's creating. Surrender thinks He's moving even in the silence. You chose calm over fear every day. You get more powerful. You fight the impulse to control God's timeline on a daily basis. Your faith grows. His delays are not denials. You discover His timing is deliberate. Additionally, when the response is given, it won't merely satisfy your needs, it will mold your spirit. Allow giving up to become a habit rather than an isolated act. Since the one who controls time also controls your heart, let trust take the place of time frames. 3. Substitute constant prayer for control. Control is a lie. It is driven by fear, but it feels like power. And tranquility is never the result of dread. What breaks that cycle? Say a prayer. The antidote to control is prayer. It turns our attention from the things we can't control to the person who does everything flawlessly. According to Philippians 4:6-7, in every circumstance give thanks to God for your request, and His serenity will protect your heart and mind. It is not necessary to perfect prayer, it must exist. Whether you re in the car, the kitchen, the morning's quiet, or the afternoon's chaos, talk to God. Turn your nervous thoughts into requests to talk to Him. Prayer is a privilege, not a duty. It's the area, not a duty. It's the area where His presence meets your panic. Start forming the habit. Take a moment to pray whenever a worry arises. Say, I am scared, God, but I give it to you. Do not wait for the appropriate words. Just get started. The more you pray, the more you automatically choose calm over fear. The dialogue with God changes your viewpoint. Your heart is also realigned by prayer. It serves as a reminder that God is still your fulcrum, that you are not alone, and that you are heard. His tranquility is genuine and His presence is close. Therefore, make prayer your routine, your reset, and your daily return to the one who already understands, cares, and holds the response. 4. Repeatedly switch from fixing to following. You were never intended to solve every problem. You were designed to follow, yet that pressure crushes. Living open-handedly and faithfully one step at a time is what it means to follow Jesus. It's more important to believe the person who has the answers than it is to know everything. According to Proverbs 3:5-6, we should submit to God, trust Him, and not rely on our own wisdom. He will then guide our course. It doesn't always feel assured to follow. Sometimes it's uncertain what to do next. However, the clarity is not promise, it's direction. God leads with compassion rather than ambiguity. A loud plan could never guide Him as well as His whispers do. You will hear His guidance if you remain near His heart. Giving up perfectionism is necessary while transitioning from fixer to follower. Presence is being prioritized over performance. When you make a mistake, you meet grace. God does not require perfect performance. He invites devoted followers. That is a form of freedom. That is a source of joy. Say this prayer at the beginning of each day. I don't know all the answers, Lord, but I have faith in you today. Take me step by step. It's a straightforward but impactful statement. It puts your heart back where it belongs, as a cherished disciple, not as a master. Therefore, letting go is a daily process, a rhythm of release, faith, and return that happens moment by minute, and your leader is kind, dependable, and good. Therefore, let go once more wherever you are today. Take a deep breath. Step forward with both hands open. You are never walking alone. God is directing. And all that previously burdened you can be carried by His powerful hands. You never have to keep everything. Step into serenity and let go. Let's say a prayer. Father God, I stand before you this morning with an open, vulnerable heart that hurts from the pressure of expectations rather than well-crafted words. For far too long I've been shouldering in silence. Expectations that I'll be perfect, that everything will work out, and that I'll take care of everyone else's needs while ignoring my own. Lord, I acknowledge that I have held myself to unachievable expectations, and as a result, I've strayed from the liberty you desire to grant me. You can see the portions of me that are exhausted from trying to live up to the expectations I believe I should have, from acting and from striving. I wake up with a list of things I need to do in order to feel worthy, you see. How, despite everything I put out, I carry unseen burdens that nudge me to accomplish more. How I evaluate myself against others, and then silently berate myself for not measuring up. And you can see how I occasionally have the same unreasonable expectations regarding others as well, evaluating them based on their output rather than their character. So I let go today, Lord. I stop feeling the need to be someone I'm not, to fulfill obligations that were never predetermined by God, to maintain a facade that isn't grounded in your reality. I relinquish the assumption that I must always be strong, joyful, self-assured, and composed. I give up the delusion that my value is determined by my output, how I look, or how other people see me. I let everything go because the truth is that I don't need to convince you of anything. Your declaration of love, choice, and possession has already been made. I don't have to put on a show for the person who secretly observes me. Before God, who is aware of every thought I have, I don't need to put on masks. You don't wait for me to make an impression. You're anticipating my relaxation in you. Thank God. I no longer feel the need to be the perfect wife, the best friend, the perfect parent, or the perfect employee. I release the voices yelling, do more, and decide rather. Pay attention to the whisper that tells you to be still. I let go of the urge to control every reaction, every perception, and every result. Instead, I decide to accept your tranquility. Father, release me from the worry that I'll lag behind if I take a break. Release me from the never-sleeping internal critic. Release me from the delusion that I have to work for what you have already given me. Show me what it means to live a simple, burden-free life. Remind me that who I am, not what I do, is what defines who I am. You own me. I take a deep breath and relax in the silence. I let go of the standards I have set for myself as well as those I have internalized from other people. I trust that what you have for me is greater than the perfection I've been pursuing. So I open my hands and let my heart open, and I've decided to accompany you through this day. Not to prove, but to obey. Lord, please help me to recognize when the weight comes back. Assist me in recognizing the subtle ways I start acting once more. When I sense that my anxiousness is returning and working hard, pull me back into your embrace. Over the lies, whisper the truth. Lead me gently back into present and away from pressure. You are not a strict boss. As a shepherd, you are gentle. And I decided to follow you today, to live in harmony rather than under duress, to reflect your grace, not the demands of the world, and to rest in my belovedness rather than try to win others' acceptance. I am grateful to Jesus for accepting me for who I am and for being by my side while I grow into the person you created me to be. My hands shake, not because they are feeble, but from attempting to hold what I was never intended to hold alone for too long. I have a silent desperation that has persisted within me. One that mutters, I must have everything worked out. That letting go is not safe. However, you are more knowledgeable. You have a more profound view. You are aware of the internal battle I wage. There are parts of me that want to be in charge and parts that just want to sleep. I appreciate you meeting me at both locations. You are aware of how I mentally practice the worst-case scenarios, how I interpret discussions after they've concluded, how I carry around anxieties that have no place in my being in silence. You can see the aspects of me that have been influenced by the past, disappointing memories that reverberate with unfulfilled prayers. You are aware of how my present is still weighed down by my previous transgressions, how I occasionally inflict internal punishment on myself for stuff you've already accepted. You are aware of the misgivings I attempt to conceal in the recesses of my worship. Even when I sing about your kindness, you still pull me in. You continue to be faithful. You still refer to me as your beloved. Something about not knowing what will happen next makes me feel like I might fall apart. In the silence, the questions become louder. What if I didn't see it? What if my strength is insufficient? What happens if the pain persists? What if I don't give it my all? However, you subtly remind me this morning, God, that faith does not equate to a lack of inquiries. It entails picking you out of all of them. Even when nothing makes sense, it means opening my hands. It is letting go of my drive to comprehend and letting you bear the mystery. Trust entails believing that you are leading each step even when my heart is heavy with doubt, and walking when I cannot see the path. I hereby present to you every load I've been carrying in silence, along with every heavy object, question, and unsolved emotion. I release the stories I've created in my own mind. I let go of the time I've been attempting to control. I give up control over everything, including results, relationships, money, dreams, health, and reputation. For you, Lord, are more secure than I am. You are more stable than my efforts. Additionally, you've always been ahead of me, and never let me work things out on my own. I lay before you my anxieties that I haven't yet set out over identity, provision, and future uncertainties. I give you the unnamed questions and the silent pain in my chest that manifests as stillness. In the haze of doubt, I still choose to think that you are creating something positive. You are quickly transforming even my bewilderment into clarity. You are the process God, not only results. You are the God who builds faith via delays, who deepens surrender through quiet. What I thought was a waste is being saved by you. What felt destroyed is being restored by you. You are doing more than simply answering prayers. I think that while you wait, you're rechanging me. And even if I can't see the whole picture just yet, I have faith in the artist who created it all. Teach me to live with my hands open, Lord. Show me how to trust you in every situation, not only when I feel safe. Admittedly, I frequently default to work hard. I forget that you are already my rescuer and search for clarity as though it were my salvation. However, you're asking me to join you in a new rhythm, a manner of life that walks with grace and doesn't expect assurances, a breathing pattern that inhales tranquility rather than frantically trying to gain control. I, therefore, encourage you to join me in my everyday routine. Stop my autopilot. Let trust be the foundation of my responses and way of living, not just a concept. I give up not only what I can't carry today, but also what I still desire to bear. I give up my obstinate pride, my apprehensive thoughts, and my fear of disappointment. I give them to you because I think what you have for me is superior to anything I could make myself. I share with you my expectations, my bewilderment, my heartache, and my disappointment. I give you the pressure to always be all right, the sadness I didn't handle when it first happened, and the anxiety of making the same mistakes I did in the past. I put them at your feet and have faith that you will transform the ashes into something lovely. When it seems safer to trust, give me the guts to do so. Be concerned. When everything inside of me wants to hurry, give me the patience to wait. Give me the discernment to hear your voice over the din of the world and the self-compassion to show myself grace in the process. Let trust be more than just a phrase I use. It becomes the cornerstone of my existence. Remind me that you still love me, despite my struggles, even if I falter. My religion is not being graded by you. My heart is being held by you. I've never been dropped by you, not once, not in my worst hour, not in my worst error, not amid my quiet anguish, not throughout the years when I believed you to be far away. I've been with you more than I can remember. You're still here too. That is sufficient justification for trust. I've been looking for tranquility, and that's it. When I was unable to pray, you were there for me. When I just sobbed. When others left, you were there. When I ran, you stayed, and you still do. Therefore, remind me of this moment whenever I begin to pick up the burden again, when I start to overthink the next move, or when I spiral in panic. Remember that I made the decision to submit, that I said yes once more, allowing me to come back to this peaceful, sacred location whenever I need to. Allow surrender to become a regular routine rather than an emotional high. Allow it to influence how I react to setbacks, wait, forgive, and rehope. And now, Lord, I make the decision to start my day with a gentle disposition and a firm belief. I have no idea what today will bring, but I am aware of who is holding me. I will not seek clarity. I'll go with you. I'm not going to rely on plans. Promises will be my rest. I refuse to struggle for power. I'll gain trust. Even if I sense worry nagging at my shoulder, I will continue to go by faith. When my strength fails, I shall rely on your grace. You are sufficient, and I am sufficient in you. You are reliable, and I am safe in you. You are dependable, and I find the courage to try again, to believe again, to start over in you. I'm grateful that you are the type of God who allows me to give up without feeling guilty. I appreciate you taking each piece I give you and handling it carefully. You are my haven, and my sustainer, my healer, not simply on the bright days but especially on the difficult ones. You are where I find rest. I therefore move on in tranquility rather than perfection, with assurance, not with solutions, not by yourself, but alongside you. And I'll continue to go, believing that your hand is leading the way at every turn, even when I can't see the road. Amen. At one point in my life I believed that giving up meant being weak. I thought that everything would fall apart if I didn't have a solid hold on my schedule, relationships, and success. Separate. However, I was unaware that I was the one collapsing. Peace eluded me more and more the harder I tried to keep everything under control. I didn't start breathing again until I at last opened my hands, both physically and spiritually. I discovered then that the power lies in the release rather than the grip. Therefore, I would like to invite you to that moment right now, an open, vulnerable, and holy release moment. What are you still carrying, may I ask? Is it a fear of what lies ahead? Is it an old wound you keep reopening, a tense relationship, or a result you're anxious to control? If your fists are clenched, whatever it is also preventing your heart from accepting what God is attempting to offer. Inquire boldly but softly. What is preventing me from moving forward? Allow the question to persist. Allow it to reverberate within your innermost thoughts. Because sometimes the one thing that keeps us from making progress is what we can't let go of. Additionally, if you are sincere with perhaps like me, you will realize that letting go isn't a loss. It's liberty, it's faith. There is peace. Thus inhale and use that air to do a straightforward yet profoundly symbolic action. Wherever you are, open your hands. In front of you, stretch them out. With your hands relaxed and your palms facing up, say this aloud. Yes, aloud. I give it to you, Lord. After those remarks, let there be a hallowed pause. When heaven leans in and hears you name the item, let that be the moment. Say it, let it go, put it in the capable hands of the someone who has never let you down. Next, put it in writing. One item, one weight, one name, one regret, one dread. Don't pick it up again either. As a declaration, leave it on the page. I no longer carry this. God does. Allow that tiny gesture of resignation to reverberate more loudly than any yell. Allow it to change something within of you. Allow the healing process to begin. Type this boldly and with trust if you letting go today. I fully trust God and I give up everything I cannot control. Make it your anthem. Let it be your spiritual rebellion against striving, worry, and anxiety. Let it serve as your evidence. Don't stop there either. Distribute this. Give it to a loved one, someone who has been exhibiting sagging shoulders due to stress. Someone who needs a gentle reminder that holding everything within of them is not necessary. Today, speak up for their freedom. Be the messenger of peace. And now accept this blessing throughout your life, not just in the form of words but also as truth. May you have an open hand, a light heart, and a strong sense of trust. When you let go of what you can, control, may the peace of God pervade every nook and cranny of your being. He has you and He has it. Amen. We appreciate your participation from Grace Prayer with Love, Music.